All right, welcome in to the Polarr Next YouTube live stream today. All right, my name is Aaron Nahara. Nice to have you all here with me today. Super excited about what we've got to talk about in today's live stream workshop. We're also going to be culling through a wedding that I shot a couple months ago or something like that, but we're going to be utilizing Polarr Next new culling mode, and we're going to be talking about workflow. We're going to talk about different best practices, and then if of course you have any questions, please drop it down below in our chat. I will be able to see it. Today Jonathan is not with us. He is currently on vacation, so Brunetti, thank you so much for being here. And if you have any questions, just feel free to type in chat. I will be able to see and we'll be able to get to it. Unfortunately, I was not able to get access to the photos that you guys submitted for today's live stream. So we're going to have to push that to next month if that's going to be okay. Brunetti, if you have any other questions or would like to see any other type of photo editing process or anything like that, I'd be more than happy to do that for you. I know that you had submitted, as well as some other people submitted some photos to be edited today during the live stream, and unfortunately I don't have access to that right now, so we'll probably have to push it to next month. So in the meantime, there's a couple things that we're going to talk about today. Let me go ahead and pull up our website. So from last month to today, let's see here. Let me see. Do I have, let's see. All right. Let me make my video a little bit bigger, my little live cam. Just make that a little bit bigger. There we go. Awesome. Okay, so big. So our pricing, let me go ahead and switch to this. So our pricing, we have adjusted our pricing. This was something that we got a lot of feedback on pretty much throughout open beta with Polarr Next. We understand the value of these things, right? Different photographers have different needs. When I started using different AI software, like AI culling, AI editing, it was on top of Lightroom. And some of you may pay $10 a month for Lightroom, or the $20 a month where you get Photoshop and Lightroom. For myself, currently, I am paying the $60 a month to get access to all of Adobe's suite. So that was $60 right there. Did I utilize $60 worth? At the time I did, for sure, but then I started needing to speed up my culling process, and then I started diving into other programs. And so now I'm paying at least like $10 a month for culling from another program. And then I was paying another program to do AI editing. And then, you know, so like all my subscriptions started to pile up. Eventually, my culling program that I was using at the time had editing as well. And it was about like $40 per month. So I was paying like $60 a month for Adobe. And then I was paying $40 a month for this AI culling and unlimited AI editing exports. And so our previous price model was a little confusing. I think our cheapest price plan was about $50 a month, but you had to subscribe to the yearly plan. And it's about standard, I would say, out there right now for like AI editing and exports. But we did get a lot of feedback on the pricing, and with what we do here at Polarr Next, we wanted to help photographers not only streamline and optimize their workflow, but also to not like kill you guys over the pricing and stuff. So we really took into consideration the needs of our photographers and wanted to rework some of these pricing. So I gotta say the pricing is actually incredibly cheap compared to, dude, Brunetti, for sure. This right here, the pay-as-you-go option, I think this is still like one of my favorite things about Polarr Next, even before I got started with Polarr Next and just looking at it as a photographer, right? Because Brunetti, like if you were trying to use Adobe without a subscription, you can download the program, but it'll ask you, hey, you don't have a subscription to this. You need to log in with your Adobe account. There's no way of getting into it without it. I did use Capture One. I think that might be the same behavior. I'm not quite sure. But as far as like a program that lets you in and does not have any of the features locked, you know, like I don't know if there's any program out there currently that like lets you do that. So with Polarr Next, I would love being able to tell photographers like, hey, check out Polarr Next. Just go to our website, hit the launch web app, and try it out for yourself. You can experience every single feature about Polarr Next. And when you're ready to pay, that's when you export. When you're ready to export, that's when you pay. And not only do you get the 2,000 free exports, which is gonna help you like figure out, okay, within 30 days, let me edit a couple engagements, let me edit a wedding. That's about 2,000 worth. You'll get a good handle on Polarr Next within those 30 days utilizing those 2,000 free exports. But this pay-as-you-go option, 5 cents per extra, is actually massive. Would you possibly consider a lifetime subscription option? I will say this, the Polarr Next team absolutely listens to feedback, whether it's emailed feedback or whether you're in here, Brunetti, asking questions or you're commenting on Instagram. The Polarr Next team does listen to feedback, and so I will relay a lifetime subscription option. So let workshop this with me. What is a lifetime subscription look like? I really like the concept to pay whenever you are done instead of paying before. Yes, exactly, Brunetti. So, but yeah, let me know, what is that lifetime option? I'm gonna keep talking about pricing, but let's workshop this. Because if you think about it, the pay-as-you-go, 5 cents per export, there's a lot of hobbyists, there's a lot of street photographers, there's a lot of photogs out there who love doing photography, but who don't want to pay $20 a month for Photoshop and Lightroom, who may not even want to pay $10 a month. You know, to me, it's like the gym, right? I could sign up for the gym. I can say I'm going to go to the gym and I've got all these aspirations to get fit. But in reality, maybe I can't make it to the gym, you know? And there's a lot of people out there who have cameras, who love photography, who like it as a hobby. And they're saying like, okay, this year I'm going to get out more. I'm going to take photos. I'm going to edit. So let me sign up for Adobe. And then they start paying $10 a month. But then they don't get out. They're working too much. They have a lot of family time. Like they just, you know, have things that don't allow them to get out and shoot. And now 3 months down the line, they paid $30 for a program they haven't used, for a hobby that probably not serious about. So to me, it reminds me of the gym. That's why I love Polarr Next. Again, you can do the pay as you go option. Get in there, import your images, start editing, everything like that. And then if you're ready to be like, hey, I want to put this on my Instagram, I want to post this on my website, how many credits do I need? Oh no, I need 50 expert credits. Okay, let me do like a one-time purchase of 200 credits. That's like $10. And then the cool thing is that those credits won't expire. You're not pressured to keep using it. Say you buy the 200 credits and you only export 10 instead of 50. Now you've got 190 credits left that aren't expiring, and you use it whenever. Oh man, so the pay-as-you-go export option is pretty awesome, and I think a lot of people need to be turned on to it more. Next up, of course, yo, what up, Anja? Great to see you. Welcome. Next up is the unlimited monthly option, $30 a month. So this to me is pretty fair. If you can't afford, I remember a time when like I couldn't afford big annual subscription, even though like I understood the value of it. A good example of it was Pixieset. I've used Pixieset for a long time, since like 2017, I think. And I remember at the time Pixieset was like $300 or something per year. And at the time I wasn't doing full-time photography, so I couldn't buy it annually. But I even though I saw the savings there and I was like, oh man, that's way cheaper than paying it monthly, I just couldn't afford to buy it annually. So I just paid monthly. But once I hit full-time, then I was able to afford the $300-$400 annual price tag. And now Pixieset's about like $500 annually, but now I have unlimited photo hosting, I've got contracts, website editor, all that good stuff. But I say that to say, if you're not ready for the $239 a year, billed yearly for the $19.99 a month, then this isn't a bad option. Again, considering you're getting not just editing, but you're also getting AI culling for $30 a month, unlimited exports. That's a really good deal. I think we found a really good middle ground for our pricing. As you said, Brunetti, people could see it as being really cheap, especially if you factor in the cost of like what the other AI editors cost per month with culling and then plus Lightroom. And it's very confusing. We just stripped it down and simplified it, made it really easy. $30 a month, AI culling, AI editing. And if you are a full-time professional and you do have the means to get that annual subscription, $19.99 is a massive deal for AI culling and AI editing. So another cool thing about this, to be said is that you don't have to worry about like downloading it all the time, right? Like that's one thing I'm so used to with Adobe products is like having Creative Cloud installed on my computer, which basically manages my updates of all the different apps that Adobe has. I can go into their browser store and get all the apps I need, like Adobe Acrobat, Illustrator, Premiere, After Effects. But then it facilitates my updates. With this, you literally don't have to worry about anything like that. You just launch the web app and Polarr Next is already updated with the newest features. So can you cancel a monthly subscription at any time? Absolutely. I honestly, that is a good question though about this, and maybe we can explore it as I get into Polarr Next. I know there's no like contract you're locked into. You're not like locked into and then you got to pay up front. With this, I don't think that's the case either. I think like if you sign up for the annual and you pay the $239 up front, I believe when you cancel, I believe there's a refund or you get prorated how much you used it within the year. I believe that's that. But with this monthly subscription, yes, you can cancel at any time. Like, so say like you sign up today, but then you want to cancel in 2 days. If you sign up today and then you pay it, I believe it'll basically let you use it until it runs out in October. But I've never really canceled this. I haven't played with it. I could get you better answers. at another time, or I could always email you with clarified answers. I don't want to give wrong information, but I do know if you sign up with us, you're not going to get locked into some kind of contract that you have to pay, you know, things like that. I know that's pretty scammy out there. There's a lot of other things out there, not editing programs, but other like lead generation platforms and stuff like that for photographers, where you get like locked into a contract and you have to pay every month. And if you don't, then you have to pay off the rest of the contract up front. Real scammy. I know we don't do that for sure. So, all right. So enough time talking about pricing. I think it's such an awesome topic. I think our pricing is great, but that's what's massively new about Polarr Next this month, guys. From last month, we changed the pricing, and that's a huge benefit. So, all right, if you have not seen it, we released our Polarr Next 2.0 beta video on our YouTube channel. If you're not subscribed to this YouTube channel, take a moment right now to hit that subscribe button and also to like this video, okay? We want to appease the algorithm gods out there, so please, please, please hit the like button on this video. But if you have not had a chance to check out our, let me switch screens here. Our new beta 2.0 video, we go into depth about what's new with Polarr Next 2.0. And what's great is, like, for me, like when I got started with Polarr Next last year, it's almost been a year now. I got started right when we went into beta 1.0. And just the leaps and bounds that Polarr Next has experienced from 1.0 to 2.0 is like night and day. Like when I started with Polarr Next, and gosh, man, this sounds like a shopping channel. It's crazy. But like the reason why I love this so much is like literally this has transformed my editing workflow. If you haven't had a chance to watch this video, please go watch it, give it a like, share it with somebody that you feel could appreciate a new streamlined workflow. But this will go into depth about beta 2.0. All right. Introducing culling and editing, and we're going to get into it today as well. But yeah, definitely go check that video out, as well as we posted a new video yesterday on my AI styles. So we're highlighting a new feature than my AI styles, but we have a ton of videos on our YouTube channel, tons of interviews with other creatives and photographers. We have some interviews with our ambassadors. And then we have different editing videos. We've got videos from the community. So from like ShotKit, different influencers, Tom Carlton, and then tutorials. We've got like how to use Culling Mode tutorials. So if you want to know more about, like, go really in depth with Culling Mode, definitely watch this video. And then, yeah, quick tour, just all kinds of goodies here. So make sure you check that out. But, how old is Polarr Next? That's a really great question. I don't have the official date, but I will say it was 2023 of April, Brunetti. 2023 of April was when they really started knocking on doors, meeting with photographers, and getting insights. Like, what would your ideal photo editing experience be? That was happening around April, May-ish. And then when I joined, they had the editing app. You can mark references. There was no masking. There was no brushing. We didn't even support Nikon files, which is what I shoot. And I had to bend over backwards to use. I had to convert all of my files to DNGs. The thousands of wedding photos I shot, engagements, I had to convert those all to DNG, then bring them into Polarr Next. And yeah, it's crazy. Now we support NEFs. We support all kinds of different file formats. Like, we have brushing, masking, so many great features. So it's been a journey, Brunetti, but I mean, within a year plus, amazing progress. All right, so let's jump into Polarr Next 2.0. I will be demonstrating culling through a project, and then I will be showing you guys a couple more features that we've released. You might have not have seen it, but there are some new features that have been added to Polarr Next 2.0, and I will show you guys right now. Okay, so let me jump in here. I've got all my projects expanded. Let me close these up. I love that you can expand these to keep things nice and tidy. Let me do that. All right, so we're going to bring in a new wedding. All right, here we go. So we're gonna bring in this wedding, and we're gonna go through the culling and the editing, and I'm gonna hit overwrite project. And there you go. We got the two options here, to cull or edit. So we're going to go ahead and continue to cull. So this is very new for me. I used to use another program for culling probably up until a couple weeks ago. I was using this program for culling. Once we released Polarr Next Beta 2.0, I canceled the subscription on that culling app, and now I'm fully locked into Polarr Next culling, which is a journey. We're beta, so there will be bugs, and you probably will experience some bugs. But like I said, I've been using this for over a year now, being able to work and deliver client work with Polarr Next. So it's not all that bad, okay? But we've got 2.0 open right now. By default, auto grouping is going to be turned on. You can turn that off if you'd rather go through the images individually on your own, but we set it at default, which is what I like. And you can see here down at the bottom, these blue little tabs show you how many photos are within the group. And usually it's just like, if you do a lot of sequences, which a lot of weddings are, you know, like if you're trying to get the first kiss, or you're trying to get the bride and groom good reactions while walking, or just whatever, you definitely want to do, you know, take multiple shots. And so that's what our auto grouping does, is it analyzes not only the photos so that it can group them, but it also analyzes the faces. So you can see here, we've got all three faces lined up pretty good. I can expand this if I want, but by default, I like that. It'll show you like if the eyes are half open or fully open, or if they're fully closed. It'll also show you the focus. So 7 saying it is good focus. Pretty satisfied with that. You can also like zoom in on these little panels, which is cool, and kind of like drag around if you want, which is what I like. But I don't know, Brunetti, Anja, I don't know if you've noticed, but one of the two little updates that we've silently pushed into our new build has been popping up on screen. Have you noticed something new? I'll give you maybe like a couple seconds to figure out like what little new thing is showing up on our viewport. All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. If you look down at the bottom of the film strip, when I hover my mouse over the film strip, you'll see this little tab right in the center pop up. So we used to never have this. Back when I started photography, I used to call my photos through Windows Explorer. Oh man, that's crazy. That's crazy. I don't think I have that experience. When I started, it was through Lightroom, and I culled through Lightroom like probably all the way until 2021. I culled in Lightroom until 2021. Yeah, I think that's when I discovered the first like AI culling apps. But back to this. So if you see right here, if I hover over the film strip, there's a little tab that pops up right here, and if I click it, we get rid of the film strip. So this was a feature that was requested. Sorry. This was a feature that was requested from some of our users, and it's not like a make or break feature. So we had it on the back burner for quite a while, and it's finally gotten to the place where we feel like we can now implement it. And so this is our iteration of being able to hide your film strip. So if you'd rather cull like this and get the full, you know, experience of your photos, and you know how to rate your images without looking, you know, at them or whatnot, there you go. Now you can hide your film strip, and it's also the same behavior within editing. If we go here and we could just say, let's go to edit. And we'll just go start without an AI style. So now we're in the editing mode, and you can see the little tab also appears. We just click it, and now it's gone. So little feature, like I said, little feature, but it's a cool thing that we pushed out, and you know, those users are happy now. So I would select the photos one by one with the control key from a folder with over 500 shots, and you cannot imagine how many times I misclicked with the control. Oh man, I still do that. Like, I don't cull, but like when I'm selecting multiple files or multiple photos or whatever in Windows, and I'm holding control and then I misclick, oh my gosh, it drives me nuts. You know what I turned on now? I don't know what it's called, but I turned on the option where each file has a little checkbox. So when you click it, it checks the box. So even if you like misclick, you just gotta click it. So super off topic, but I also experience weird behavior where if I'm holding control and I'm selecting multiple files, my computer will start to copy what I've selected. It's weird. I don't know if you guys experience that. I'm sure there's some kind of thing I need to turn off in my Windows. It is so annoying. But like when I'm trying to move like multiple files or something like that, and I hold control and I'm clicking through, it just automatically starts copying everything. Anyways, yeah, it happens. I don't know. What the heck? If you figured out Brunetti, let me know, okay? All right. So, as you saw, we're in editing mode right now, but I did not do any culling. So what's so awesome about Polarr Next is I literally do not have to switch between programs. I can just easily click this cull photos button. And now we're back in culling mode. How awesome and how fast is that? Look at that. Right back to editing. Right back to culling. So fast, so stinking fast. We don't have to export photos and open it up into Lightroom and then go through Lightroom's ingesting with the library and build the preview or anything like that. And the cool thing is that when I brought this project in, Polarr Next started analyzing all of the metadata, and it does take some time. Like, this is a 5,000 image catalog here. Okay, so it'll take a good 5, 10, 15 minutes of analyzing the metadata before I can start sorting by capture time or going into edit mode. But that's okay. With programs like this, there's a reason why Lightroom does build previews. There's a reason why you go into other programs and there is processing time that needs to happen. So with Polarr Next, we're going to start analyzing all the metadata right away. You can start culling if you want, but to be able to sort by capture time, to be able to go into the edit photos mode, there does need to be some analyzing that needs to happen. And so we are still optimizing that so that we can get those wait times faster for you guys. But I would say it's still pretty great. And as you can see, just going from photo to photo here, it's stinking fast. Being able to just easily open up and see all your RAWs in real time like this, and just go between groups, go between images. it's pretty fast. So let's see here. So I definitely am not going to be able to cull this entire 5,000 image catalog, but I do want to flag some. I do want to color some, and then we'll take you into editing mode. And then there's one more little sneaky update we also threw in there I want to show you guys, and then we'll answer any questions you guys might have. Could you share from your own experience what flags or colors you use to mark your photos? Yeah, that's a really, really great question. All right. So, with colors and flags, my personal opinion, I I don't think you need to get complicated with it, to be honest. For me, let me just explain my origin story with culling. I started using this AI software for culling, and the AI would process your images and assign on its own different colors for different photos. So for the photos that the AI selected, they were green. For the photos the AI thought were highlights, which basically meant were like unique moments of the day. So say like you have a 300 image catalog. The AI selects 120 images that it thinks are good for editing. It would maybe select about 22 highlights. Those highlights would be marked blue. And then this software would also automatically color the blurry photos with purple, and then it would color the photos where people's eyes were closed with red, and then duplicates were yellow. So I don't think that's a bad recommendation, to be honest. If that's how you want to color your photos. It's stuck with me so much that now when I cull, I mark the photos I want to edit in green. That's how I do it. And then because I've been editing in Polarr Next, when I get into edit mode and I'm starting to say like, I want to edit these green photos. So I'm in here, say like now I'm editing, and out of these green photos, this one needs to be photoshopped. I mark it with blue. Oops, let me put the blue filter on here. So I mark it with blue, then I go there, mark that with blue, and mark that with blue. So what I do is when I go to export, all these images have been edited. I go to export, the greens mean they're ready to go to be like uploaded to my client's gallery. But these blue ones mean they need to go to Photoshop. And what I'll do is I'll export these as a .psd file straight into Photoshop. Export in the .psd, and then I open Photoshop, drag the files in, edit them, and then I export in JPEG. So for me, that is the extent of my flags and ratings and star. And I know it seems very underwhelming because we have the ability to star rate photos from 1 star to 5. We have the ability to, use different color options. But just because you have all the options doesn't necessarily mean you have to use them all. Think about it this way, Brunetti. If I was a studio photographer and I had clients in the studio with me live, perhaps after a photo shoot, I would sit down with my clients and I would say, all right, let's go through and let's go through these 200 images and let's rate them based on what you like. So you can utilize the star rating system when you're sitting down with your clients, and your clients are like, oh, that's a 2-star, that's a 4, or that's a 5, that's a 0, that's my foot, that's a 3. And so having all the rating options to be able to assign, color, flag, pick, is just giving you the flexibility to do what you want. There's no rhyme or reason. There's no correct way to do this. You're kind of disorganized. You know what? Your disorganization may not be that much of a big deal. You know, I think, like I said, you know, I mark all the ones I want to edit in green, but I could easily just flag them, right? Why don't I just flag them instead of marking them green? You know, go in here, start flagging them. And, you know, I know there's photographers out there who like to reject photos and actually use a rejected flag when going through, you know, they'll reject or whatever. To me, it's kind of redundant to me, just because when I move into editing, all of the photos I didn't select are hidden, and then I can easily just go to those. So I think it's just different photographers, different needs. Studio photographers have a much different culling process, rating process, than photographers like myself who edit weddings and who need to get through 5,000 images quickly, and I can just easily assign the ones I want to edit with green, you know, and then the ones I need to Photoshop, I give them blue, and that's about it. But there's also possibility too, you know, with our culling features. We're not done with it yet. We only have auto grouping, and then the AI's ability to locate faces, rate faces on their focus and eye openness. So the AI is doing some analyzing, some culling, but we still have other features that we want to introduce, like being able to let the AI automatically select and suggest photos that think, you know, or let me rephrase it. Our AI is going to be able to suggest to you photos that it thinks you should select to edit. So, you know, with that could expand to, you know, the AI automatically marking photos with red that have closed eyes, or, you know, any type of combination. So the sky is the limit for sure with our AI culling process. And definitely jump into our culling mode tutorial video if you really want to dive in deep and do that. But Brunetti, as far as like best practices when it comes to culling, really it comes down to you. Find a process that works best for you. And I'm not going to sit here and say you're doing it wrong, because it's what works for you. For me, marking in green works. And as you can see, when you start to mark photos in the group down here, you'll see this little circle appear, which indicates that there have been photos selected here. So the more that I select, the more you'll see that number increase. And then I can deselect them, and now that number decreases. And we just put that there to show you like, hey, there's photos that have been selected. So when I'm going through the groups, I can say, oh, I did select something from here. I selected something from here, which is by way of flagging. Let me remove those by pressing U. All right. Nice. All right. So let's do this. I will just go through and select a couple, and then we're going to go into the editing mode, and I want to show you our new sneaky update, and I want to see if you're going to be able to notice what that is. Yeah, you're very welcome. I love the questions. Keep them coming. All right. So now we're going to go to edit photos, and we're going to select all the types of photos that we want to edit, or at least like just basically let it be visible on the film strip. So we're going to go edit the selected, and speaking of bugs, so the behavior should have been it hides all of the unselected photos, which it didn't do. So that's definitely a bug. As you can see, it's got 4,000 plus visible photos. Um, let's see here. All right, let me just filter by green. So let's get into editing. Right, Brunetti? You just gotta laugh at it. So let's get into editing here. And let's maybe... I've been loving these two presets. I know my face is kind of hiding the left side here. I have these two presets, color film and film and grain. One thing I've noticed lately, I've been editing a ton of photos like with intentional grain or intentional blurring and motion. I absolutely love it. And these two little presets I have right here, super awesome for getting really grainy, filmy type of look for different lighting scenarios. So see you later, Anja. Thank you so much for being here. Appreciate it. Yeah, so let's go in here. Let's like add this film and grain overcast. Obviously it's overcast, so this I made this for like a setting to be in like a shaded low light type of situation, which is this right here. How frequently do I use preset? Let me bring my face back in. I use presets a lot. I know with like Polarr Next workflow, we utilize styles, which is really great, but I still utilize presets a ton. And as you can see, like these ones right here, these ones I use quite a bit. So especially when it comes to black and white, I like to have my black and white presets. And then of course the grain and film. And then I do have other presets that I've made. These presets were made from actual weddings I edited. So like what I would do is like when I edit a sneak peek early on and I really like the look, I'll make sure I save it as a preset, because I know that when I bring this through Polarr Next again to create a new AI style, all of those settings are going to be erased. So I want to make sure I at least just save a preset of like my little formula that I got, and then I can always access it later. So presets are good, but I use them a lot less. I'll say that. I think I only use them whenever I cannot find a way to edit the photo manually. Brunetti, it is not a bad thing. You know, I think people have different ways of editing. If I was like a hobby street photographer, maybe I'd use presets to save time, but I would see myself investing a lot more time in just sitting down with an image and just taking it from ground up, editing every aspect of it manually. But once I started getting into weddings, engagement shoots, family, presets really do help to speed up the process. And when you're creating your AI style, presets really help to really lock in the way your photos are going to look with your AI style. So with that being said, Brunetti, I know you're talking manual here, and that's where we currently are in right now with manual mode. So whether you're in manual or you're using AI styles to edit your photos or whatnot, there is something new that we pushed in a new update recently, and I don't know if you can find it, but let me just open up these panels here and let's see if you can point it out. All right, so we've got our histogram, our cropping, masking, healing tools, color profiles, basics. We got our curves, and then we've got HSL. I mean, I might as well just point it out. It's pretty obvious. We upgraded, or let me say just updated our HSL panel. So now when you open it, this is what it used to look like, where we're able to go through each photo individually and change the hue, saturation, and luminance of each. But now you can adjust it by this HSL. And you can see the expansion here where you can see all of the colors hue, all of the colors saturation, and all of the colors luminance. How convenient is this? I absolutely love it. You can click all if you want to, and now you can see it literally all unfolded before your eyes. I think this is really cool. I've actually been using it a lot. Before, when it was like this, I didn't mind it and I live with it, but we did get some user feedback asking for that expanded option. And I actually really like it. And I've been using this a lot more than our previous. And also with this color, when you're adjusting by color, you can click this right here and it'll expand it and it'll show you all the colors if you prefer this way. So right now, where Polarr Next is with the program, with the features, with the updates, you're really going to start seeing all these smaller scale quality of life type of updates. Like we've hammered out AI culling. We've hammered out the AI style, being able to learn from your reference edits. We've been able to hammer out exporting options and importing LUTs and importing Lightroom presets and strength sliders and healing. Like we've hammered out these big features. Now you're going to see a lot of new quality of life improvements, like hiding the film strip, like expanding HSL, being able to see all the colors in one panel. I can imagine, actually not imagine, one more sneaky update, guys. One more, and it actually snuck up on me live on stream. We also updated our shortcuts navigation. So you're going to be able to sort through the shortcuts by different topics rather than seeing the full menu, which some people kind of found confusing. If you want to find different shortcuts, now you're able just to navigate through the different tabs by the specific topic. And what I was gonna say is you could probably expect to see this shortcut menu expand as well. There's a lot of new features that we've enabled and added that we don't have a shortcut for yet. So if you have any suggestions as far as like what shortcut keys you would want to enable different features, then please let us know and we'll be sure to add that in here into the shortcut menu. So wow, little sneaky updates there, guys. Film strip being able to be hidden, HSL panel, shortcuts. I'm just gonna take a spin here and make sure. Oh, there's so many sneaky updates, man. It's killing me. Okay, one other thing, guys, you might have noticed when you're over here on this left side by the home button, it used to be blank, but now we're showing you the name of your project. But it's also a drop-down menu. When you click this drop-down menu, you have the ability to rename your project. So we can call this like Polarr Next Livestream Demo. Rename it. You can actually adjust the project date from here. And then you can also delete or reset. And reset is really convenient. And you can either choose to reset your edits or reset your ratings and labels. So when you reset, this will remove all edit history and delete the .ai style in your project folder. If you guys who are watching today aren't familiar with what Polarr Next does when you import a project, we drop a .style file and a .catalog file in your project folder. So this is how we're able to keep you guys from having to send your catalogs and files to us. Everything happens on your local PC. So the AI processing, everything is happening on my device right now while I've been live streaming, happening within these two files, the catalog file and the style file. And so when we haven't created a style file, we haven't created an AI style. That's why there's no AI style in there. Sorry, to be very clear. So edits, again, it says it's going to delete the style file. Ratings, labels, and flags. This is your catalog file. So if you like, I haven't done any editing whatsoever. So I could literally just go in here. Let's reset the, actually, let's just reset both. Polarr Next is going to go ahead and reset. Now it gives you the options. You want to start with culling or editing. Let's go back to cull. We're going to hit that. And now we've got a project and we are back to square one with culling. Super convenient to do it all within this drop down menu and in this mode rather than having to go all the way back home to rename your project, adjust the project date, or delete and reset. So really, really cool. Love it. I just did not do my homework today. I don't know what it is. You know why? It's because we constantly get so many of these little sneaky updates and we push them out. And sometimes we make big noise about it. Sometimes we don't. And I think last time during a live stream, we did have the My AI Styles tab enabled, but I just pushed a video about it yesterday on our channel. So make sure you check out our My AI Styles feature video to check out more about this feature. But if you haven't played around with this either, the My AI Styles tab is really, really great to be able to organize and see all your projects that you've got going on. So, like I said, when you create your style files, we put them in your project folder, and a lot of people aren't really like aware that these style files are here. So we wanted to bring them to the forefront for you guys to be able to see your styles. So like for this one, this overcast lush, let's go ahead and let's edit this project. You should let us know more about, you know what we do though, you know, Brunetti, we do post, we're the most frequent with our Facebook group. So if you haven't joined our Facebook group, Jonathan does a really, really great job posting updates. Whenever we push these little small things, we do put it in the Facebook group first. For the bigger updates, we'll push it through email and make videos about it. But all these little things here and there, you'll see it in our Facebook group. So you can see I'm actually like really liking how this is looking here. Let me see this overcast lush. Here's the original and there's the edited version. That looks really good. Like this right here, other than maybe some like minor cropping tweaks, it actually looks pretty good. Like this right here, I don't have to do anything to it. And I can just hit mark as reference. Now I can update. So I've got this home button. So when I go back to the My AI Styles, now you can see these thumbnails updated and what this style looks like on photos. So really, really cool feature to be able to see all your AI style features, AI styles in one place. Very similar to like when you explore our pre-trained styles. And then of course our tutorial section, we do have culling mode in there now. I got really confused when I saw new features randomly popping up the next day using, you know what though, Brunetti, that is good feedback. We don't want people to be confused. We're hoping that it's a good thing though, for people to like open up Polarr Next and be like, hey, this changed, or hey, this looks good. This is way better. So perhaps we should be a lot more vocal, not just with our Facebook group, but yeah, we want to find that the fine line, the balance between being too spammy with our emails whenever we push out updates to making sure that you guys are completely informed. The best way, again, get involved with our Facebook group and then make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. All right. I thought we were done, but there is actually one more thing. And if you haven't done it yet, you can download Polarr Next now as a standalone app. So you no longer need to use, I've been using Google Chrome for this live stream today, but you no longer need to use Google Chrome or Microsoft Edge to access Polarr Next. You can literally download the app, which I've got down here at the bottom. And there you go. The way that this is different than like our PWA app, is the PWA. You have to have Google Chrome or Microsoft Edge installed on your computer in order to install that PWA app. This one is completely on its own, self-sufficient. So you can see, got nice screen real estate, looks very polished, and you're gonna get the same performance in this desktop app as you do normally in our web browser. I'm on the beta desktop app program. Should I download again? No. So the cool thing about our desktop app alongside a web browser is that whenever we update on our end, the update gets pushed and your app gets updated as soon as you open it. You're not going to experience some kind of like loading or whatever. It's just going to be updated. So if you want to triple double check, I'm on version 2.0.4-1.0.2. Let me see here. Let me open up Polarr Next. Let me go to the website one more time. Yeah, so we're currently on the latest version of the desktop app, so no need to constantly have to download it and redo that. Once you've downloaded it, it'll just continually update and everything. So wow, we covered a lot today. I'm grateful for these live streams. Brunetti, I don't know if this is your first one joining us today. But we're gonna do this. We do this every single month. For myself, I live stream. I run a photography community, and I try to live stream like 3 days a week. But we're doing this one at least once a month because we want to be able to give people access. If they have any questions and they want feedback in real time, then we have the ability to do that. Also, I apologize again. I wanted to bring your photos on stream today. I just didn't have access to the folder today. And the person who has the keys was not available. So next week, I'm going to save those photos. We're going to throw them into next week's live stream, and then I'll edit them live on stream. So if there's anything you guys want to cover, any topics, any questions you might have, anything you want to learn more about Polarr Next, we do send out RSVP forms ahead of time from these live streams, and we encourage you guys to RSVP, put your questions in there, throw your photos in there so that we can get them ahead of time and prepare those things. And then the first 5 people who do that are going to receive 1,000 export credits for free. So Brunetti, I believe you and there was another person who had RSVP'd. So I'm going to be throwing you some export credits. All right. For participating, for not just RSVPing, but being here. Really, really appreciate you being here and hanging out with me. Anja, thank you so much for being here as well. And for everyone else who was just popping in and out to today's live stream, I just want to thank you guys so much for supporting Polarr Next, being interested in what we're doing. There's a big market out there of photographers who use so many different programs out there, and just being a year in with Polarr Next, it's really exciting to see the progress that we've achieved so far and what we're going to achieve very soon. So guys, thank you so much for being here. Make sure you are subscribed to our YouTube channel. Don't leave this live stream without hitting the like button, hitting the subscribe button, and watching a couple more videos after this on our YouTube channel. Make sure to follow us on Instagram as well. We'd love to follow you back and check out your work. And if you guys want to shout us out, that'd be super cool. If you edit any photos with Polarr Next, make sure you tag us. We'd love to share your work on our story. And then, of course, join our Facebook group. All those links are down below in the description of this live stream, and you will be able to watch this live stream back once this video is done. My name is Aaron Dejera. It's great hanging out with you all today. Thanks so much for being here. Brunetti, have an amazing day. Everyone else, catch you all later. Aloha.